Hey Google, turn off. Welcome everyone to WorkVisas.solutions. Hopefully you guys all have pretty good Mondays. Maybe they're still going on, maybe they're Tuesday, I'm not really sure. But anyway, today we have something fun. And of course you start out with, hi, I'm Tom. You don't know me. You probably never heard of me, but if you really want to, you can figure me out. And you can go to WorkVisas.solutions. And so, holy crap, still on. This is a weird new setup. I feel like I'm in the scene from Charlie Rose because it's a black thing behind there. It was pretty cheap. He was out of work, needed it. But anyway, this one is for Sriath, and see what we do over at WorkVisas.solutions is we try to build code that enables America to have its secret sauce sprinkled right in on top of it. You see, we're trying to make a code that allows the H-1Bs, the L-1s, and the real talent in the world to be able to come together and figure out where they're working and where they should work. It's a process. I mean, we have the application process in beta, and if you want to check it out, cool. But we have a nice page. The page is about 7,000 people, and so we can communicate with them and answer their questions. And if you have any questions about H-1Bs or L-1s or B-1s, that's pretty much it. It's really what we're really sticking to. Please get in touch with us, just like Sriath did. And he had this really cool, hypothetically cool, scenario in the sense that it makes you think. Everything was going great for Sriath. He had an H-1B job in biotech, which is freaking awesome. If you're here on an F1 visa and you're in STEM, way to go. You are America's secret sauce. Please get in touch with us at WorkVisas.solutions. Let us know what your questions are about how you can acclimate into getting your hustle on in America, because that's really what this is about. I mean, America is built on immigrants that risked, came here, and made it for themselves. That's why, I mean, I can ask, hey Google, what percentage of Fortune 500 companies were founded by immigrants?
On the website Forbes.com, they say, a new report from the Partnership for a New American Economy found more than 40% of Fortune 500 companies were founded by immigrants or their children.
There you go. Why? Because immigrants take risk to come to America, and entrepreneurs take risk. And the immigrants are usually here, the ones that can have legal status are here on what they call an F1 visa, and they usually are studying in STEM, and then after that, they're usually on an H1 visa, and then after that, they can get their perm. Now, the H1 can be extended, it's a 3-year term, and can extend another 3 years. A total of 6, and of course, you're allowed to credit out days where you're not in America. So, everything was going great for this guy. He had a cool job in biotech, and he still has a cool. But then what happens, the extension is granted, so awesome, I'm going to go back and visit home, and it'd be great to, because isn't that really cool that you can be having the American dream, you can be having the legitimate American dream. You got the mortgage, you got it all coming together. You're doing something you believe in, you're working for a great company, and you have your thing going on, and just kind of like Sanjay Nadella or Sundar Pichai, just like them. I mean, it's going well. So then you go back home, and when you're trying to come back, you get a letter. Isn't it so interesting that the American dream can be it can rise and it can fall on a letter, and that letter might be pursuant to Section 221G. And there just might be a checkbox that says your visa application has been refused. What? Everything was going right. And now it's all in jeopardy. And then, so while looking at that, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Why would you because I look into 2221 and I get Ayla's emails. And so I'm like, oh, okay, that's fascinating. It doesn't make any sense, but I'm new at this. And what happened was he got rejected for it, and it looks like the Trump administration is going to try to use its executive authority to kind of screw with the spread between your H-1B period and your green card. So, you start your perm and now you're allowed to renew that until you can get your green card, which can take years depending on what your specific country's wait time is. So it could be 12 years in the case of India, let's say. So what happened is now it's all thrown into like chaos. And there's hundreds of thousands of these visas that it says that Trump might try to use his power to get into and keep them out. It says between 500,000 and 750 Indians in jeopardy by sending them home abruptly. You're on an H-1B, you're in an extension. You go home to visit home because you're doing it, man. You're freaking doing it. And then when you try to get back into the country, they're like, oh, no, rejected. Which means what? Who knows right now? Because I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not trying to scare anybody. Just trying to say, well, what happened when you get this? What should you expect? According to an AILA paper, AILA is the American Immigration Lawyers Association. It's the association for them. So they do publications because they're talking to their clients and they understand what's going on by monitoring them. Of course, I mean, you don't know what the government's doing unless you see it in action. And with immigration, you can see it in action in rote times because it's happening not just once and a one-off. It's happening on a 10,000 scale. So, for example, this same 221G letter in 2009 happened a whopping 600,000 times. And over 500,000 times, they were able just to continue to get their visa, and it was fine. So that means that there's an 87% chance in 2009 numbers. That was when Obama was in office. I don't know if Trump is going to, or if the Quartz article about how Trump might use his powers to wait until people are offshore and then just say, well, your status is now, it's pending because you're in that gap period between your H-1B and your green card. So just sit at home until you get your green card. Or what? No. Hopefully not. We shall see. But hopefully it's just that there's an 87% chance that you will still get back in. And it's just a widely used make you shit your pants letter that is given because it's America and it's not for the weak. And it is for the people that have to get their entire freedom revoked when they get a letter. That's how it is. There's too much entitlement sometimes when you're people like me. Or at least that's what you might be assuming. Anyway, you don't know me, but if you are here on an F1, a J1, well, the J1s are pretty cool. The J1s are like, all right, we'll talk about the J1s later. But mostly the H1s, the L1s, I like the Bs, and then the Es. And then every now and then you meet an O and you're like, oh, you're an O. Wow. What O are you? But if you're one of those, I want you to do well. Because I believe that you are America's secret sauce that keeps them America. Number one in the world in entrepreneurship and technological innovation. But only if we have the world's best and brightest always want to come here and have their American dream so they can get a Rule 221G letter and be like, oh shit, thought everything was going well. And if you would like, you can help us continue to test our code at WorkVisas.solutions. We'd love to have you as a user, especially you, sir. Have a great evening. And you